This morning, the wind sang a different tune. The earth, once trembling in its grief, now whispered with stillness. I stood beneath the giant Iroquois tree, its roots wrapping deep into the earth like the veins of our ancestors, and I felt something rise inside me, not fear, not confusion, but a memory older than my own. The village was silent, watching from behind half-closed windows and huts woven with time and red earth. My feet moved, guided not by thought but by something calling from within the dust. When I entered the elders' circle, they sat like carved statues, eyes heavy with generations. I didn't kneel. I didn't speak at first. I only placed the carved bone, white, marked with the word F, before them. No one reached for it. Not even Podogo, the oldest of the elders, who once wrestled a python with his bare hands. They only stared, not at the bone, but at me, as though they saw the shadow of someone long gone behind my eyes. Podogo finally broke the silence, his voice like dried leaves brushing stone. You went where your father disappeared. You faced what he feared. Tell us what you brought back. I didn't speak of treasure. I didn't mention the golden medallions buried beside the skulls or the ancient sword I left leaning against a termite hill. I only said, I brought back names. They flinched. I continued, I brought voices, faces, and the truth. The clearing behind the shrine filled with villagers by nightfall. Lanterns hung like stars in the trees. Children clung to their mothers, and warriors stood with spears but no threats in their eyes. I held the bone high, and the air shimmered. The ground beneath us pulsed, not with fear this time, but with life. The spirits were not angry. They had never been. They had only been waiting, centuries of waiting for someone to listen, to remember, to stop dancing around pain like it was a stranger in our own house. Then the strange thing happened. A soft wind blew, and the motes of light rose from the soil, tiny, glowing fragments like memories turned physical. They danced around us, touching our faces like a mother's hand brushing the cheeks of her long-lost child. One of the motes hovered over the youngest child in the village. Her name was Aduk. Her mother died giving birth to her, and the villagers always said she carried sorrow like skin. But that night, Aduk smiled. A real smile. And the mote settled on her chest before vanishing. The elders wept quietly. And I felt the weight of the covenant settle on my shoulders. A covenant not written in books or ink but in dust and bone, in silence and buried truths. I spoke again, but not with my voice. It was the voice of my grandfather, of my father, of every son who watched his lineage erased by fear. From this day, I said, we do not hide pain. We do not bury truth. We will build a house of memory. One where children will know the names of those who bled for their peace. The villagers knelt. The moonlight reflected off the carved bone still in my hand, and the shadow of a leopard passed behind me, pausing briefly before melting into the dark. Not a threat. A guardian. I took a breath and placed the F-bone into the shrine. It glowed once before turning to dust. But its memory remained, etched into the soul of our land. And just like that, the story began again, not from fear but from remembrance.